Hello everyone, this is Barcelona News World. The following is the headline we are going to discuss. Inter Milan vs Barcelona, Champions League. Final score 4-3 AET 7-6 AG. Barca suffer late heartbreak, lose in extra time. Barcelona's journey in the 2024-25 Champions League campaign has come to a painful end at the semi-final stage thanks to a heartbreaking 4-3 defeat in extra time to Inter Milan, 7-6 on aggregate, in Tuesday's second leg at the San Siro. Barca found themselves down 2-0 at halftime but came roaring back to take a 3-2 lead in the 88th minute, but conceded deep into added time and then in extra time to see their European dreams turn into a nightmare in Italy. First half. After a wild first leg, things were expected to settle down to begin the return match, and that's exactly what we saw at the start of this one, as the pace was considerably slower and neither team took big risks early on. Barca had good moments in the opening minutes and their high pressing was effective to force Inter into giving the ball away constantly, nullifying their counter-attacking threat and not allowing the hosts to build any momentum. But a bad mistake changed the game. Dani Olmo gave the ball away inside his own half and Denzel Dumfries was released in behind the Barca defense, and the Dutchman showed poise and unselfishness to give Lautaro Martinez an easy tap-in to put Inter in front after 20 minutes. The Catalans had a fantastic response and played their best 15-minute stretch of the half right after conceding, constantly winning the ball back high up the pitch and creating real opportunities. They also had a strong shout for a penalty when a shot by Olmo hit the arm of Francesco Acerbi inside the box, but VAR didn't see enough to give a spot kick and the referee wasn't sent to the screen. Lamine Yamal and Ferran Torres missed big chances to equalize from short range, while Inter had a couple of shots from Henrik Mkhitaryan and Hakan Calhanoglu go agonizingly wide as the home team came close to doubling the lead. But just before halftime, a huge controversy proved to be the turning point. Lautaro Martinez went down under the challenge of Pau Cubarsí inside the box and the referee didn't give a penalty, but was advised by VAR to look at the screen despite it not being a clear and obvious error by the on-field official. Simon Marciniak changed his mind after reviewing the play, which showed Cubarsí kicking Lautaro's foot despite the fact the Argentine striker was already going down, and pointed to the spot seconds before halftime. Calhanoglu scored the penalty with ease, and Inter had a monster 2-goal lead at the break. Barca suddenly found themselves in a terrible position with a mountain to climb on the road and only 45 minutes to do so, and they would need a heroic effort to pull off a miracle in the second half. Barca were a completely different team to start the second half, with a different level of urgency and intensity that caught Inter off guard and immediately put the Nerazzurri under pressure. The Blaugrana played faster and more incisive football, and needed just 10 minutes to get a goal back as Gerard Martin played across to the far post and Eric Garcia appeared out of nowhere to score a brilliant volley and give the visitors a chance. 2 minutes later came a golden chance for the equalizer thanks to a textbook counterattack in which Martin, Pedri and Eric combined and got all the way into the 6-yard box. And Martin set up Eric for an easy tap-in but Jens Sommer made a spectacular reflex save to keep the ball out of the net. But the Barca pressure was too much for Inter to handle, and Martin ended an incredible 10-minute solo stretch with his second assist of the night, a perfect cross to find Olmo all alone at the far post for an easy header to leave the tie all square at 5-5 right at the hour mark. Inter were on the ropes and desperately tried to sit back and avoid conceding a quick third goal, and they were very lucky not to give away a penalty with 20 minutes to go when Mkhitaryan fouled Lamine Yamal right at the edge of the area, and VAR changed the referee's original decision from a penalty to a free kick after the evidence showed Yamal was fouled just outside the box. Barca couldn't score from the free kick, and Inter dodged a massive bullet. Barca completely dominated the final minutes of the contest, and Inter looked increasingly out of energy as they tried to survive the Blaugrana pressure and take the game to extra time, but their hearts were broken with 2 minutes left in regulation. Pedri found Rafinha all alone inside the box, and the Brazilian had his initial shot saved but was quickest to the rebound and fired home with his right foot to complete the comeback. Barca had 5 minutes of added time to protect their lead and advance to the final, and Yamal hit a rocket onto the post in what could have been the clincher for the visitors. But there was still time for one last twist as Dumfries won the ball from Martin and crossed it to Acerbi, who fired it home and scored the most unlikely of equalizers in the 93rd minute. Extra time. The San Siro crowd was given new life by the late equalizer and completely took over the game in the extra period, urging Inter forward and almost building momentum all by themselves. The home team responded by taking the initiative, and completed their own comeback in the 99th minute when Davide Fratesi found himself all alone inside the box and curled a left-footed shot into the far corner to put Inter back in front. Hansi Flick threw caution to the wind ahead of the final 15 minutes and replaced Cubarsí with Pau Victor, changing his formation to a very attacking 3-2-5 with only one center-back and plenty of bodies in and around the box trying to create chances for a late miracle. Simone Inzaghi responded with some defensive changes and a switch to a 5-3-2 with a low block, but his team still had plenty of counter-attacking threat to try and kill off the tie with a fifth goal. Robert Lewandowski had the first big chance of the second half of extra time, missing a point-blank header after a brilliant individual move by Yamal, but Inter responded on the counter with a shot by Fratisi that required a great save from Wojciech Szczesny. Barca continued to attack and Yamal had two monster chances to equalize with great efforts from inside the box. But Sommer made a pair of fantastic saves to keep Inter in front as time was quickly running out for the Blaugrana. The Catalans fought with everything they had at the end, but couldn't produce a late chance and the final whistle came to end their European journey and send Inter to Munich. Neutrals will remember this as one of the greatest Champions League semi-finals of all time, with both legs producing some of the best football drama we have ever seen. Inter fans will certainly never forget this night. Barca fans will feel the pain of losing this one for a long time. It was right there until it wasn't. Inter, Sommer, Bisek, Darmian 71 foot, Acerbi, Batoni, Dumfries, De Vrij 108, Barella, Calhanoglu, Fratisi 79, Mkhitaryan, Zielinski 79, DeMarco, Augusto 55, Thuram, Lautaro, Taremi 71. Goals, Lautaro 21 foot, Calhanoglu, Pen 45 plus 1, Acerbi 90 plus 3, Fratisi 99. Barcelona, Szczesny, Eric Fort 98 foot, Cubarsi, Pau Victor 105, Inigo Araujo 76, Martin, De Jong Pedri Gavi 105, Yamal, Olmo Fermin 82, Rafinha, Ferran Lewandowski 90. Goals, Eric 54 foot, Olmo 60, Rafinha 88.